for Shabbat study, Genesis 8:20 through 22. Vayiven Noach Mizbeach leYahweh. So he built. The idea that Noah is constructing Vayiven is reminiscent of the ark. It's also reminiscent of the Ohel, the tent, the testimony, the tabernacle, the temple, and therefore the cosmos. Vayiven Noach Mizbeach leYahweh. Vayikach mikol habayma tehara umikol ha'of hatahor. So he takes from all of the animals the clean, from all of the birds the clean. Vayal olot, he offers them as burnt offerings bamizbeach, on the altar which he constructed. Which is a weird concept if reality is like, looking at verse 20 again, if this is kind of a peephole as a sod reading into reality. One way to conceive of reality is that, well, first off, it's easy to make the argument that reality is cast as a temple in your Torah, Yeshua. The idea that the reality is an altar would be interesting, because if reality is a temple, there are things that are not translated to the heavens. The altar is the mechanism by which the earthly is translated into heaven, or ascends into heaven. I like translated as well, because ascend makes it seem like in our current state, but translated shows there's a change in property in order to ascend. So the altar is the teleportation device. If it's Star Trek, then the altar is the mechanism that beams up the offering. And then the question becomes, I guess, all of creation, if it's a temple, certain parts get incorporated and received by God, and so maybe all of reality is likened to a simulation. Another wherein there are only certain things that are translated to heaven, and the purpose of it is to find things that are going to be translated. Another, a more physicalist metaphor for this is a mining operation. We mine for valuables. It's a strange concept to create a thing. That's foreign to me, at least right now in my mind. I can't think of any semantical connection that we would create a thing and then mine it. But that's kind of what you did with reality, and the things that make it to the altar are translated to you. And we're in verse 21. Vayarach ya et reach ha-nikoach ha-nichoach. And Yah smelled the reach, which is again related to the root for spirit. It's aroma or smell here. He smells the smell, and it's pleasing to him. It's comforting. It's a respite, fitting, a respite from that which is unfitting, I guess. Vayomer Yah el libo, and Yahweh says to his own heart. Well, that's comforting, Yeshua, because I speak to my own heart. Vayomer Yah el libo, lo osif, not I will add, or again add. Lekalel, not I will add to curse more, or again, or repeat the matter, or repeated. Et ha'adama, the ground. Ba'avur, on account of, or the crossing over, like the matter of ha'adam, the man, because ki yetzer, because every inclination, every formation, because the formation, not every, but ki yetzer lev, the formation of the heart, ha'adam, of the man, ra, it's evil or harm, that sucks. Me ne'orav, from his youth. Now it's in the masculine, and it's the ha'adam is singular, but what's interesting is this would be an argument where kind of people have made the argument when the hay is there and it's the definite article that it has to be referring to the man Adam, but that makes no sense because Noah is the one offering it. So this demonstrates here, this verse also demonstrates that it's possible to refer to all of humanity with the definite article. And here it's talking about Noah, but there's there's no reason to exclude Noah's wife or the wives of his sons, or even to say it doesn't exclude his sons would be a more cogent argument to start with Noah and then say, well, it doesn't exclude his sons either, which would mean, I guess, the definite article can take on the role of a kind of a hypothetical and a kind of any of the men is one way to read it, from their youth. So any of the men at any time is evil from their youth. Velo asif, and I will not add again, velo asif od, le hakot, to destroy or put to end. Et kol chai, all the living, all the creatures, all that lives. Ka asher asiti, as I have done here, or as I have done in this instance. And then we have in verse 22, Od kol yemei haaretz, up until or until all the days of the earth. Okay? As long as the earth, which is a weird statement because it's like that this still means the earth may not endure, or it maybe even assumes a priori the earth will not endure. And this is a common idea in the Tanakh, that the earth will not endure, but eventually will wear out. Od kol yemei haaretz, up until the days, so it's literally as long as the days of the earth. Zera, which is seed or seed time, Ve-katzir, seed and harvest, so it's timing. This is the idea of time. Zera ve-katzir, ve-kor, vachom, cold and heat. Again, seasonal shifts. Ve-kayetz, vachoref, summer, winter. And so it's talking about the cycle of time. These will, as long as the days of the earth, and the word yemei is a cue at the beginning here that it's going to be talking about time. Yom does not just mean a 24-hour day. It also means it can mean a signal of a cycle, the cycle of time continuing. It can be a reference to the passing of days, metonymically. Od kol yemei haaretz zera ve-katzir ve-kod bechom v'kayetz bechoref, and then we have veyom v'layla, day and night, this continual thing, this reinstantiation of what God does in the beginning of the Torah. Lo yishbotu, they will not cease. They will not cease. They will not stop. They will not be brought to an end or brought to cessation, a dispensing from, a turning and a leaving aside might be a way to think of the verb shabbat. It has to do with a shift and a leaving, a transition. So this verse, Yeshua makes me want to ask you a question. Does this mean that the cycle of time itself, because it names seed time, harvest, cold, heat, summer, winter, is the cycle of time itself an ongoing instrument in the ongoing Boriah, and the ongoing creation? Creation is not depicted as completed. The Psalms even describe that you still are acting to create and renew the face of the earth and to bring it to its conclusion, and that the act of continuing it is it's called creation. And so it's the cycle of time itself, part of the instrumentation, like I said, part of your tool to bring creation to its completion. Yeshua, please make it clear. Help me to understand. Teach me about what Shabbat is. The idea that there are these cycles, right? This is great because this alludes to, Genesis 8:22 alludes to the ultimate Shabbat. Because it says there's this cycle that's expected, day and night, harvest, seed time, cold and heat, summer, winter, these, and the actual movement of time until a ceasing. And so it makes it as though the cessation, the kind of like shifting from that reality to the other reality, I guess, to the reality of the joined realms, that which has been translated, that which has been received into the temple complex, or the innermost area, whichever that is, and we turn towards that which has been harvested, that which has been mined, that which has been refined, that which has been created, that which has been incorporated into malacha, or worked into its proper form to be suitable to heaven. And so all of our work is about a haul, maybe. A haul is too brutal, makes it sound like pirates or miners, but going out and hunting for just the right piece for a work of art. If you do a physical mosaic, just the right pebble, just the right crystal, just the right gem, just the right stone. Yeah. Thank you, Yeshua. I love you.